My wife and I are learning more and more that the psychology of money is actually just as important, if not more, than how much money you actually make. So as me and my wife have been on our journey to kind of figure out, hey, what does it look like getting ahead, paying off debt, trying to get financially free, the conversation of how we've started to view our money, I think has really helped us get to where we are and is going to help aid us into where we're going. So I wanted to dive in on that and let y'all know this is what we think about, and hopefully it'll help you. So the number one thing that came to mind for both of us, we changed how we view our relationship with money. Our excuse of why we were not getting ahead was the fact that, hey, we do not have more income. If we get more income, we'll be able to get further ahead. But we realized after a little bit that logic is not really helping us, because when we did make more and more money, we were not getting ahead. Our bills were not going down, our debt was not getting paid off. So it's like, what is that disconnect there then? And that's simple. We just didn't have a good relationship with our money. We decided to start treating our money like our actual relationship in our marriage. So then we just took time and started focusing on understanding, hey, where is our money going? What's going on with it? Let's pay the same attention that we pay to our relationship and how much energy and focus we put into that. Let's give our money the same attention. And by respecting our money and doing that, we started finding all of our money leaks. Started seeing we've been spending so much extra a week on these energy drinks that we just weren't aware of. It didn't seem like a lot of money at once, but $5-10 a day adds up over a week, over a month. I think a huge psychology for us on money was treating our money not just as a tool, but starting to respect it as a part of our relationship. That was a huge thing for us. So the other psychology piece we were talking about as well was finding that balance between the two extremes. So I'm going to put everything on the tripod. We're going to jump into the studio setup and keep talking. So where were we? Being extreme and having that extreme mindset. That is something that we are slowly getting better and better about. And I think it's something we're always going to have to work on, and something I wanted to talk and share with everybody else, because I feel like this is something a lot of people can relate with. So to kind of break it down, what me and my wife have ran into is there will be moments where we're being very extreme on saving and very frugal on what we spend on as far as groceries, what we spend on going out to eat, what we spend on getting necessities of life in general. And then there are times where we have that opposite, which is the extreme, and we call opening up the floodgates. Prime example was one time we were walking around, we went to TJ Maxx, Home Goods, we were looking for a swivel chair for our back living room. Went to Home Goods, found a couple, and was like, hey, kind of like these, but they're both $500 a piece, and it seemed a little too pricey. So we decided, let's go check out Ashley Home Furniture, because it's right down the road. So we went and checked out that furniture store, looked around, did not find any swivel chairs that we liked. But while we were sitting there talking about what we were gonna do with the chairs we found at Home Goods, we were sitting, had an outdoor patio table set, and it was 60% off. We're like, this is kind of nice. And we were just kind of chit-chatting about it. And a lady walked by and she said, hey, I think if you guys are interested in this, they'll give you 70% off of it. I was like, well, it's not a bad deal. I like to save money. And so after talking it through with my wife, we decided, hey, I'm going to ask the lady if she'll do 70% off. If she does say yes, the manager, then we're going to move forward on it. I asked the lady, I was like, hey, me and my wife like that patio table set over there. Another lady mentioned that you might want to give the discount from 60% up to 70%. Are you interested in doing that? And she said, yes, absolutely. Now, she answered very quickly, which to me was they're just trying to get rid of it. So I saw an opportunity. I will tell everybody I ever meet, and I've always told people this, if you know me personally, then you know this is a saying of mine, closed mouths don't get fed. So as soon as she said, yes, I'll do 70%, I hit her back with well, if you can do 80%, we'll take it today, right now. And she said, you know what, let me go check real quick, but I think we might be able to make that happen. absolutely stunned as I am. I'm excited. She comes back, says, hey, we'll do it for 80%. With delivery and everything, it was going to be like $1,400. So we ended up purchasing that. But this is that extreme part I was talking to you about of like opening up the floodgates, because we came in there looking for swivel chairs, left with a patio furniture set. We spent $1,400 on that. So now we're desensitized to the $1,000 on the 2 swivel chairs are going to cost us at Home Goods. So we go back there. I'm in a master negotiating mood. Tell them, hey, there's some scuffs here. Can you take some money off? Lady said, I'll give you $50 off that one chair. And I was like, well, what about this other one? She said, sir, I can only give you $50 off the one chair. So ended up getting both chairs for $950 instead of $1,000. But that is like a prime example of how we'll go like to one extreme. Once we start buying stuff, then we'll open up the floodgates and start buying, and then we'll be extremely tight for the next month or two trying to help recoup and resave. So that's one thing psychologically wise with money that we realize that we've been doing, and I wanted to talk to you guys and share with you, because when we've noticed it, we are trying to get better about reacting and pivoting out of like those extreme mindsets, whether it be the frugal or it be the spending one. And what we found that has been working as we're trying to get through this is giving little rewards here and there. So, we like to go to antique malls and hit yard sales. So we'll go out, if we see something we like, we'll spend a few bucks there. When we go out to eat, we'll, get an appetizer with the meal as well, because we typically don't do that. So just trying to like find those pockets of being okay with spending a little bit here or there, while also being mindful of what we're spending. And it's helping balance out that extreme pendulum swing either way. And the last thing we talked about when it comes to like the psychology of money is, what do you do when you get to that place where your savings is good, your debts are getting paid down, so you're getting more income monthly, and everything's kind of comfortable and stress-free and worry-free, and the ball's just rolling. Well, we've hit that point, and what we're running into is now finding that balance of not only continuing to pour into the savings, but also deploying it to build and grow elsewhere. But now we've gotten to a point where we can invest with a larger amount of capital because things are balancing out really well. So it's a weird spot for us to be in, because we've never had that option where like, hey, the savings is good, the bills are getting paid, like when do we stop pouring into there and start like having the money go make money? I didn't think we'd ever have to like have a conversation of like, hey, are we saving too much money now? Is like too much money sitting in there? And it's a weird shift and dynamic change. So something that we've just recently entered into and are working through and I want to share with you guys as well, that if you do encounter that, I think about that number. I think if we would have preemptively thought about that, it would have just kept the money going and keeping it rolling in a direction, knowing like, hey, once we hit this amount, we're immediately going to shift to this. We're going to start pouring this percentage of money into a portfolio a month. This is just what's going to happen. So figuring that all out has been something new, and those are some things psychologically wise I just wanted to touch base on when it comes to thinking about money and how we interact with money, how we grow our money, how we build our money, and what we do with our money, that we've learned and we've experienced, that I think a lot of people go through as well. It's just different ways. And I think all three of these things combined have helped get us to where we are and are going to continue our journey as we go through. And I think we're going to learn more things as well. So as always, my name is Derek. Welcome to the Happy Piggy Bank. If you are new here, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Enjoy the journey. We're going to cover everything from what me and my wife are doing in our budgeting systems, the system I've built that I share with you guys and help teach you, as well as where we're going on our financial journey and all the other awesome stuff that I've been building out on the business side as well. So you kind of get to deep dive on everything. Make sure to hit that subscribe button to follow along with this journey. And other than that, welcome to the Happy Piggy Bank. And this is the place where we make sure you have a happy piggy bank.